Hi parents! If you're one of those who say, yes, I know movement helps, but which one? This video is for you. Today we're going to run through a movement menu for kids with different needs. ADHD, autism, anxiety, sensory differences, and all you need to do is choose one goal. We have 3 to choose from. We have settling exercises for those children who are wired, noisy, impulsive, loud. We have waking up exercises for those who seem foggy, stuck, staring into space, saying I don't know all the time. And we have bridging exercises for those whose body is ready but don't really know how to start the task. We're going to do each set for around 2 minutes, and we're going to start with settling exercises. So the first exercise we're going to do is a settling exercise, and the goal is to calm down your child and ground their nervous system. And this is best for children who are active, wired, noisy, impulsive, running around all the time, and this is going to help calm them down. All right, let's do these exercises together. Let's find a nice wall that you can start pushing. We're going to do this for 30 seconds. Let's do it together. All right, so we're going to put our feet back together. We're going to have strong arms against the wall, and we're going to lean in and push that wall away. You can even breathe out while you're pushing, and we're focusing on strength and pushing this wall away as much as possible. So we're just pushing. These are not at all to be fast movements. We're just pushing the wall away and focusing on the strength in our arms. Push as hard as you can. We'll do 2 more. Ooh, wonderful. Now, the next activity is a towel pull. Either use a towel, I'm using this cloth right here. And you can either put this around a doorknob and use it to pull, but I'm just going to use my hands and my body's resistance, and I'm going to wrap this around my hands, and I'm going to start pulling. And I'm doing really, really slow pulls, and also feeling the muscles in my arms. This is heavy, heavy work. By no means are we doing this fast. We're doing it slow and controlled, and we are pulling and pulling. Ooh, we have 1 more after this. Heavy work. We're doing heavy work and using our muscles. And these are grounding exercises. All right, and now for the last one. We're going to take a backpack with heavy books in it, and we're going to carry it around. Now, if your child prefers to carry this on their back, that's fine as well, whatever they're more comfortable doing. So we're going to walk around, and we're going to think that we are doing heavy work. We're grounding our body with this weight. Other exercises that you can do are squeezing a pillow really, really hard with 2 hands. Take it and squeeze it against your body, and you can do that for 30 seconds. And something else you can do are, you know, those heavy wooden chairs that you put under tables. You can lift them up, pull them out from under the table, and then push it back in. That's also a really good example of doing heavy, heavy work. All right, the next activity we're going to do is waking up exercises. Now the goal of this is to activate the brain and wake up your child. And this is for children who seem foggy, stuck, staring into space. They seem shut down, and this is to wake them up. So the first exercise, the first of 3, is just marching in place. Marching in place. And marching like a little soldier, just marching. Bring up the knees. Try to get the arms involved. You can march in place, or you can also move around your house, move around the garden. You can do a lot of marching. Okay, we do this for 30 seconds. 30 seconds of marching. You can ask your child to pretend they're a soldier and they're marching off to an important mission. All right, after the marching, we're going to do cross crawls. Now the aim of this is to cross the midline. So either we can take the elbow of one hand and meet the knee of the other, or we can do a bigger exercise, which is one arm leaning all the way down and touching the leg of the other side. This is just easier for now, but make sure you're crossing the midline. and this creates new connections in the brain and really helps to wake things up. So the cross crawls, just a few more. All right, so we've done the marching, we've done the cross crawls, and the next one is just a really simple step, touch, rhythm. That's all it is. You can do this to music, or you can count, but this also just really seems to regulate the brain. Just step, touch. This is also really, really good if there's anxiety involved, and this really, really helps to calm down the anxiety. All right, so this is going to wake up the brain. All right, we're going to move to bridging exercises. Okay, now we've settled the body and woken up the brain, but there's still one important thing left, and that is bridging into a new activity. The goal for this is to have movement that leads directly into something, and this is best to use for when you're about to start homework, for when you're about to start any task actually. And we're going to do a combination of two exercises. We're going to do the wall push-ups and we're going to do the cross crawls for 30 seconds each. All right, and this is great to do right before homework or another task that your child may not be so excited about doing, but it just gears them up and gets them ready to do the work. All right, so wall push-ups like we've already done. Strong arms, standing back, pushing that wall away, pushing the wall with strong arms. And think, not too fast, but we're focusing on the movement, focusing on the muscles, focusing on pushing. All right, and after this, 2 more. Last one, we're going to go straight into the cross crawls. All right, do this for 30 seconds as well. And this creates a great bridge because you've worked out a little bit of energy and they're ready. They're ready to sit down and start doing some work. And after this, they don't sit and do their entire homework. They do the first small step of their homework. And then after that, you check in. We're going to talk about the first small step just now. Okay, another great bridging activity is drinking water. So you could have a bottle of water next to your child and you can say, take 3 sips and then we'll start the first task. And you can break up the work into little bits and have sips in between. The benefit of hydration is so much on the body, and we will discuss that in our next episode. So that's one thing. And if your child is feeling anxious about their work they're doing, a really, really important grounding exercise is this. You hold up 5 fingers and you ask your child to tell you 5 things that they see, 4 things that they feel, 3 things that they hear, 2 things that they smell, and 1 thing that they taste. And once you go through this, then they're ready to start the first small task. Now, I've mentioned the first small step in work a few times, and let's go a little bit deeper into it. Especially for children who have ADHD, they need a finish line. You can't say, let's sit and just let's do all our homework. That's not going to work. The motivation is not going to come, and it'll be really hard for them to do it. So you say, let's start the first step. And this could be reading the first question, could be as easy as writing their name and the date. It could be reading and highlighting the key words and what in the instructions of what they have to do. But it is one small task. And then afterwards you check in and see how they're doing. Now that you've seen the exercises, let's end with a quick guide. For ADHD and generally symptoms where there is a lot of overload, we need heavy work and cross-body work. So heavy work carrying heavy things and then crossing the midline like the cross crawls to create that connection in the brain, and they need a very clear finish line. Okay, so one small task and then say we're going to check in after this, and then do that again and again. For anxiety, predictability is needed and rhythmic movement. You know, the side steps, that's really good for anxiety. Even taking a slow walk while counting, that helps calm an anxious brain. And a very, very small first step. Just a very, very clear one and a safe one that they feel safe doing, like writing their name. And for autism and sensory differences, match their sensory need. If they're overwhelmed, do heavy work. If they're anxious, do rhythmic work. And, you know, heavy work is always really good to go to if your child is feeling overwhelmed. Thank you so much for joining me today and doing these exercises together. I hope it helped, and please join me next time. We're going to talk about the importance of drinking water. See you from the teacher's desk.